So, what class did you get that test back in today?
Oh, I got it back. It was nuclear reactor maintenance. You know, in the not too near future, I think we're going to be faced with a real energy crisis, and I think nuclear power is the way to go to help solve that.
You know, I've heard a lot of scary things about nuclear power, like Chernobyl.
Well, Chernobyl isn't really designed like any power plant you'd see in the United States. There's absolutely no containment structure around the plant itself. In the United States, they're actually designed to prevent any contamination from getting out.
Well, it's the thought of it that's really the scariest part. I mean, it could happen.
Really, because I mean, I've been studying it, and so far, it seems like the most viable alternative that we have right now to the coal and oil that we import.
Well, what have you learned that makes it seem so great?
Well, first off, uranium is mined like any other mineral, so we already have all the necessary equipment to get at it. On top of that, the major producers are Kazakhstan, Canada, and Australia, which are all politically stable and are traditionally supportive of the United States. I mean, consider that when we're dealing with groups like OPEC trying to get petroleum products.
It seems like a win-win situation overall, especially compared to what we have right now with oil. I'm hungry though, let's go get some food.
Sounds like a good idea.
I've been following you guys for a while. It's an interesting debate you're having. What effect would this have on nuclear proliferation and empty your pockets?
Well, actually, nuclear power takes about a 3% concentration of uranium-238 isotopes to keep going, while a bomb takes 90%, which is far more. That high concentration takes far more time and resources to get done, and if nuclear power gets spread around, it becomes economically infeasible for countries to do that when they can use that to help power their country.
Okay, but what about nuclear waste?
Well, only about 3% of nuclear waste is dangerous enough to people to be any danger. And right now we keep all our nuclear waste under a mountain in New Mexico, so guard that by the military, not a problem.
Okay, but what about nuclear waste? I don't want to raise my family near a nuclear power plant. I don't want to have any two-headed kids. Robbers have families too.
Actually, only about 3% of radioactive waste is dangerous. Right now, we keep all our waste underneath a mountain in New Mexico, and that is even guarded by the military. So once that runs out, they're currently making a new pilot plant to hold all the nuclear waste. And even the nuclear reactors that we have now have on-site capabilities to hold on to some of it.
Smarty pants, but what about green energies like wind and solar?
I know, I got this one. I learned about it in my Science 490 grade issues class. Every alternative has its advantages and disadvantages. Wind, while currently the cheapest alternative, can only be built in areas where there's a high average wind speed to make them profitable enough for energy companies. If the wind speed is too high, the turbines have to be turned off to keep them from falling apart. Apart from the greatest place on Earth, Indiana, the space is relatively limited. Because the turbines are always moving, they require constant maintenance, which only adds to their cost. Technologically speaking, the energy capture efficiency of solar cells isn't good enough yet. At the moment, they're between 16 and 19% effective, and in cloudy conditions, that efficiency drops even further. At the current levels, the solar farms would be massive tracts of land with nothing but solar cells as far as the eye could see to make up for the inefficiency. There simply isn't any usable land that is really available for that purpose.
Really, we need a combination of alternate energy sources. Right now, nuclear power is ready to go to help meet our rising demand, and at least we can use that until the others catch up technologically.
Joke's on you. What about geothermal? Why don't we use the heat from the earth to power our energy demands?
Geothermal is a great idea, but the locations that could typically produce geothermal energy are few and far between. You're trying to find a place where the top layer is soft enough to drill through, but the bottom layer is still hot enough to produce adequate amount of steam. The Earth is always shifting, so the hot spots are bound to shift with it over time. How do you move an entire power plant when the source dries up?
I'm on my way there! Well, I'm a cop. Is everything alright here, guys?
No, we're arguing about the viability of nuclear power as an alternative energy source compared to other green energy sources.
Hey, Christ! Not to mention we're being mugged! Everyone relax!
You can't tell me nuclear power is all sunshine and lollipops. What about the 3 Mile Island disaster?
Well, actually, 3 Mile Island wasn't really a disaster.
Yeah, that's right. And even if it was in danger of leaking, it would have been contained by the power plant itself. And even that was in 1979. Many new safety precautions have been put into place since then. So yeah, it really is all sunshine and lollipops.
And President Obama's administration is so confident in nuclear power that they just okayed $8 billion in federal loans to help build a new power plant in Georgia.
Well, why can't we just keep using oil and coal? I mean, it's worked just fine so far.
It has worked well so far, but those reserves of coal and oil aren't going to last forever. We are also having an adverse effect on the climate because of all the emissions from burning coal and oil. I personally don't want Florida to be completely underwater because I refuse to support an alternative fuel.
Whoa. Let's not even get into all the global warming discussion. We'd be here the rest of the day.
Hey, just because you don't want to talk about it doesn't mean it isn't an important aspect of the energy crisis. We all need to work together to figure this out, but it's pretty obvious that nuclear energy is the way to go here.
Hey, sorry I'm late. What's going on here, guys? Why does it smell like fear and bananas?
What are we doing? I got banana poop on my shirt. And I mean, we're practicing right now for our play in our SCI490 grade issues class.
Yeah, we're just going over how uranium is a naturally mined mineral and what consequences it would have on nuclear proliferation.
You know, we're done acting. You can take the banana down now.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't forget about looking at other alternative green energies and the problem of nuclear waste.
You guys really put some thought into this, didn't you? You guys talked about like 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl.
We definitely nailed those, along with the support the Obama administration has shown towards nuclear power.
I guess all that could go into the effect that all the current oil and consumption has the environment.
Don't even start with them about climate change. We'd be here the rest of the day.
Did you guys even mention that once a nuclear power plant is built that the energy output for the reactor can't be increased, or both safely and ecological reasons? Any major advancement would render the expensive previous plants as obsolete.
No, it's a good thing that you said that though, because we did forget. But let's do this again now that he's here.
Oh, come on.
Oh man, I don't want to do this again. From the top, people.
Alright. The end.
Sexy Cop Dancing, Part 1.
How's that banana?
Pause. Good. Alright, Sexy Cop Dancing Part 2.
You got new. Sexy Robert Dance.
I'm not a Robert.
Pause. Redo that.
That's Part 2.
Alright, that's good.